Hi, I'm Roy Atkinson, and I'm here to contribute my little piece to Meet the Tweets. Thank you, Joan Kerber Walker, for starting the BeOriginal library on Twitter and for asking me to contribute to this. The tweet that I'd like to talk about today is the difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is what we don't know about the ordinary people. I've been lucky enough throughout my life to have crossed paths with some very extraordinary people. There is a gentleman named Dan Reed who I met as a thoracic surgeon. Now that may seem extraordinary enough, but Dan had been a Green Beret surgeon in Vietnam, and in addition to that, if that weren't enough, he was a mountain climber. He grew up in Seattle, and as many folks who grew up in Seattle do, he began to climb mountains. When I first met him, even though he was 38 years old, I knew that he would climb Mount Everest, and indeed in 1983, Dan and 5 others became the first people ever to climb Mount Everest from the east face, which had been considered unclimbable up until then. There are also many folks that I know from Cuba who were extraordinary people. I had great Spanish education when I was a kid and began talking with my co-workers when I worked in a grocery store in high school, many of whom were from Cuba. There were lawyers, there were doctors who were working here packing groceries and cleaning floors. I learned great lessons in leadership from watching them work, from getting to know them, and from understanding how they thought and what they were trying to do. You can learn some lessons in leadership too, just by talking to that person in front of you online at the grocery store or at the motor vehicles. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is what we don't know about the ordinary people.